Justin Wilson, and today I just want to give a comment on what LeBron James said. He said that in the NFL they got a bunch of old white men owning teams, and they got that slave mentality. And it's like, this is my team. You do what the f I tell you to do, or I'll get rid of y'all. And this just reeks with ignorance, pride, entitlement. I mean, come on, like when he said that, my brain was just kind of like,
Yeah, it'd make anybody's brain kind of go like that. It's amazing, this victim mentality that has to be propagated constantly by the black culture. Anytime there's a shortcoming, they throw it. It's that race card. Everybody's just familiar with it so much. It's disgusting. It happens all the time, you know. Yet, even a millionaire who has a choice as a youngster to attempt to become a superstar like the people he adored gets a chance to do so, and when given a chance to, he's going to deface that as much as he can by making foolish statements, racist statements, whenever he makes more than 99.9% of the American public in a year than the public would make in their lifetime. It's quite disgusting. The opportunities given to these people, and yet somehow it's racism. Racism was when you weren't given a single opportunity. Not Jim Crow, not now modern days, but none.
that like that feeling of like someone just kind of made you feel like dumber a little bit, like you just read a dumb thought, so you kind of feel dumb. Yeah, that's just what happened. And yeah, one thing, it puts a damper on the reality of real slavery, especially what's going on in Libya right now, where they actually have some real slaves where they castrate them and abuse them and whip them and all that. But no one's talking about that over there because Muslims are doing it, and it's people of color doing it to black people. So they don't want to talk about that.
No, they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about the fact that there are more blacks in captivity under other blacks in Africa right now to this day than there ever were in North America at any one time. But no one even, they actually don't want you to pay attention to that, because it shows you how primitive and tribal they are and how they can't control things right. So they want to divert from that real bad and keep from that at all and say that, look at this. And it's like, wow, you almost don't have any grounds to even try to talk. Look at that. And now look at you.
See, the white man is the true the true slave master of today. They're the more villainous person. I mean, the ones who's giving these NFL players millions of dollars to live in big mansions and so on. Yes, the one who actually put a draft out so that these men could try out and practice and train to actually join the team on purpose. But
yeah, it's on purpose. They're really wanting to do this, and then when you get there, you want to make it a platform for idiocy. It's strange that we keep having this go on, but I think it's the only crutch that you're left with. See, if you can't blame Whitey for everything, then you have to blame yourself, and whenever that happens, then you'd have to do something about it. And I don't know if anybody's really aware, but you just can't critique black people nowadays. Oh no, no. If you do, you're a racist just for trying to critique black people. And so your only hope is that black people will try to critique black people, but whenever they do, they're called Uncle Ruckus, or they're selling out. They're an Uncle Tom, and so therefore they can't get any assistance for themselves, and they don't want to be helped. They definitely are shunning it. extremely hard, and they'd rather play that victim card and roll it as long as they can in the face of no box. There's no box. They keep putting themselves in a box, and we keep showing them there's no box. And then they make one and go, I'm in a box. And they go, there's no box. And then they look around, and it's like a mime and a fake. And they go, I'm in a box. And you go, no, you're not in a box. It just keeps going.
He compares that to slavery. I'm like, oh, come on. It's just, this victim mentality is so embarrassing, because like it's in display for all the world to see. This, like, everyone sees, hey, this is what like a lot of black people think like, and it's just,
yeah, it's disgusting. Also, people see that they say they was the Egyptians and we was kings, and that they're supposedly the Hebrews of the Bible. In fact, people are wearing clown suits standing on street corners saying that it's all a lie, and it was originally black people who were illiterate primitives whenever we found them, but somehow it was their book. It was all about them. And these West Africans are the ones championing all of this, which definitely are the least advantaged of any of the Negroid races. But it's beyond pathetic.
it's like, I wish this wasn't I guess a good chunk of black people who thought this way. I wish it was like a small minority, but no, it's a lot of black people sympathize with these thoughts, or even agree and think this way. And
yeah, that and it's just keeps driving this racism. Whenever everybody's trying to let it go, it keeps driving this racism out there, because it's this victim card you've got to keep throwing out. And relying on welfare. 73% of black homes are single parent families, and that says a lot. It does. And the amount of crime that comes out, there's more crime that comes out of black people than whites, yet they make up some 12.6%, 12.8% of the population. And if you figure it's mostly males doing this, it's about 6.5%, 7% of the population at most.
And yeah, it's right now, it's like the most woke thing you can do is, compare something to slavery, or say that this is, the white man is like, the extension of, all his forefathers who were slave masters, and consider all white people, this racist caricature that you.
Yeah, that's something that you want to believe. It's that pulling a victim over the new thing with black people in movies, black people able to do any walk of life they can. If they're smart enough, they can go to college. If they apply themselves, they can do anything. They can even take a ride along with us on our spaceships now to the moon. But no, that's still racist. It's still victimized. We're coming up on 2019 now, and they say it's 400 years of slavery, and it's like, do you realize that it's been over for 150 years? Therefore, no, it's not. Oh, that's people saying that they're reliving Deuteronomy because they're in the Bible, and it's like, no, that's an old story and a mythological thing from a long time ago, before people even knew you existed. It's not your book. It was only about Caucasians. Now they split up. It's not about different races at all. It's about the Caucasians that split up and took over the Middle East at that time. That's all it really is, and ever was.
We've seen in some 12 Years a Slave kind of movie. So, yeah, it's a sad thing that this is how a lot of black people think, and it's very damaging, because in one sense they're putting people to sleep, even though they're thinking they're waking people up.
Yeah, they call it woke, but woke is open racism. I'm woke. We is the Bible. We was, and it's like, oh my God, this is disgusting. Everybody's watching this, like he says, and so when you say, oh, we are woke, it's like, you are deluded, having delusions of grandeur and losing it as a collective people.
You know, they're in the sense that they're telling black people, hey, you can achieve anything. You're amazing, but think of yourself as a slave because you're working for a white man. So if a white man is your boss and he could fire you, you are a slave. You know, so it's like they they're putting them back into this box of mental slavery. So when
Yeah, it's there's no box though, because you actually could get a job for a black or a white or a Mexican person. Now, this is a Caucasian country. America was founded by Caucasians and founded everything. Caucasians built this country. Black people were used as slaves and they picked cotton. They did a few other menial labor type things, but it's a Caucasian country. If you want to have this not looking at whitey because you can't handle it, you shouldn't be in this country. And you go, oh, well, it's all this stuff that must have happened. Well, it must have happened. In your mind, you make up a lot of things, don't you? What if you could make up some way to help fix Africa, your own homeland, so there wouldn't be this example for everyone to see? Don't want to try that, do you? No. In fact, that's a good way to use the cards. You're like, look at what you did to them over there. And like, dude, they weren't advanced for that happened. They were all illiterate.
Kanye West said, "Oh, 400 years of slavery? That sounds like a choice." This is what he's talking about.
Yep, that's what he's talking about. That this mentality that blacks have it's a choice. It definitely is, because you can see that there's a lot of prominent black people now. There's no real racism. What brings about new racism is this. What makes it fuel up and spits gas on a fire instead of water is this. You don't see white people going around riling up about stuff. What we do now is we talk about what they do, and they go, oh, well, look, and then it's like, no. We're pointing out how you're not doing it. Oh, that's racist. No, it's not. It's not 1/1,000,000th racist. But what is extremely racist is saying that football teams are slavery mentality. America's slavery mentality. We is woke. Trying to say you were different cultures of people that you are nothing to be involved with is extremely racist to each one of those individual people too. Black people don't seem to care about any of that. They don't care. We was.
For LeBron to think of himself as a slave today, that's a choice. That is a choice. I mean, with the millions of dollars that he has, and he believes that the NFL players, and he's an NBA player. He was really trying to compare himself, or I mean his team or team coach, or I guess the owner of his team, to the NFL players who are owned by old white men and so on. So probably there's a big difference in age or something. I don't know, but
no, what that was is you can see that he was kind of pointing the finger at someone else. Now, he knew probably not to say it about the NBAs because that would be riling things up inside yourself. So he was trying to talk about the NFL, which is pretty much the same type of thing. And here we go with that slave mentality type thing. If he would have said it about his own team, you're really causing a large bit of problem. So he said what he wanted to say, but he said it about someone else over there. That guy. These people. No different. Baseball, any of these. Baseball's a white sport, basketball's a white sport, football's a white sport, owned by white people. There's black NFL owners. Oh no, don't let them know that.
Basically, he was trying to like make it sound like, hey, these men, they're not free because they can get fired. And I'm like, what? Like, have you not worked before? You know you can get fired if you don't, fulfill the, I guess the needed requirements of the job. That's just protocol. Like,
Yep, it's a common thing, and especially in something where you're a sport and you're supposed to be some type of figurehead. Now, of course, Copernic got let go, but it wasn't because he took a knee. He knew he was out on the way out the door and he wanted to do something, and hey, he did. He got himself a thing by trying to be as racist as possible and see if he could hate on his own country. So that's disgusting. It's, yeah, it just keeps it, there's nothing good coming out of any of this. Oh, they think there is, but it's backfiring. It just keeps backfiring. And they're like, oh, we're going. That thing ain't going. That thing ain't got no legs on it.
And what do you do if you become the boss of anything? Are you just going to let them do, your employees do whatever they want, but you're not going to fire them because you don't want to be like a slave master?
Yeah, see, so it's funny, but all these mentality they have going on, if we were to stop right now and then say, okay, well, y'all try it, it would fail within a day. Your own mentality would destroy itself. So it's and you can't see that. You can't see that. The jealousy ruins it.
So, I don't know. Let me give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he just said that, and maybe he's a man of simple words, and he meant so much more, but only like this dumb statement came out.
He probably did mean so much more, and only this dumb statement came out, and it would have been dumb and dumber if he would have probably said what he wanted to say.
I do that sometimes. I have something else in mind, but something else comes out. And, God forbid, those things stay online forever, and people think of me as that. But
Well, LeBron is really looked at. He's a figurehead, and there's a lot of young black men who look at this and stuff, and so it's just triggering everything, every little statement and everything, and there can't be any assistance with any of this. I mean, it's just raw foolishness. So, yeah, isn't that great? Merry Christmas. It's just bing. The mentality sometimes it's
he does have a
baffling.
track record, so
Yeah, he does have
and
a
he has
track
that
record of
against
it.
him. But I have a track record too, I think. Just no one knows it.
Yep, a lot of black people do, and a lot of people know it. And what's funny is you'd think people aren't paying attention and seeing this and being exposed to it all their life, and we're like, wow, look at these people. And you're like, oh, that's racist, these people. And you're like, no, look at you. You're doing to these people. It's kind of a rubber and glue situation. Bounce off me, stick to you. You're causing your own effect. Of course, if left alone, you still cause your own effect. Like, share, and subscribe. Somebody help these people. Peace.